So if you missed the notes on the performance task for the SBAC, this is a Screencastify video to help you do those notes. With the notes at the bottom of the document, there's going to be something at the bottom, and you will see it says PT performance task, directions, terms. The terms you're going to use if you have questions. Where are we going to do these actual notes? On the part that says directions. You can do it on the front or you can do it on the back. So as we take a look at this screen, you're going to notice that the first thing and the first heading for the notes is over here. It's that student directions on the left-hand side. So please take a moment and write down the first heading, student directions. What you need to know about the student directions is that they're going to give you a lot of information. Basically, the student directions will give you the prompt, and with the prompt, they're giving you background information, format, and topic, like what you actually have to do. The first part is always the background. Don't confuse that with the actual topic. They're just filling in some of the blanks so you get a sense of the scope of what you're going to be doing. Then when you move on, after reading the prompt and getting a sense, usually the first question comes next. So our next heading is going to be question number 1. The best format for question number 1 is a chunk. This is a short answer. It's like half a paragraph. And when I say chunk, that means you start off with a topic sentence, you give a claim, you give a setup, a transition. After the transition, you give evidence to support your claim and topic sentence, and of course, a citation. You need to cite. After the citation comes the explanation. Hey, this is how this example, this piece of evidence proves the claim, supports the topic sentence. Now notice, this one asks for 2 examples. So if they want 2 examples, you're going to need to do 2 chunks. What about citing? Okay, I would like to point this out. In the question, it actually tells you here, cite evidence and identify the source of each piece of information by title or number. If they tell you that, oh, you're blessed, you're super lucky, because all you have to put in the parentheses is either the title of the article or the number. Let me show you. I'm going to scroll down here. Okay, so notice right here, it says source number 1. You could put that in citation since the directions do say you can use the number, or right here is the title. Of course, titles do require quotes and the parentheses, but that makes it really easy. For all the sources then, and you could have anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe 5 sources. So as we look, here's source number 2. Here's, another source. There's a lot of sources. What if the directions do not state that you can cite by title or number? If they don't say this, then it gets a little bit more complex. What you're going to have to look for at the end of each source is the publishing information. So for instance, if we go back here, we take a look. Okay, so here's the first article. But if it didn't say anything in the directions about using the title or the number, you would scroll down to the end of the article. At the end of the article, They give you the author's last name, once again, parentheses, author's last name, and the copyright date. You won't have paragraph or page numbers usually because they don't give you that. So we've covered student directions, question number 1, and citing. Once you're done with question number 1 and you click next, this is where you get into the big writing. It could be a whole essay, a whole article, a whole editorial. So let's take a look at some of this. So your next heading is question number 2. Okay, notice they are pointing out here how your work is going to be scored. The fact they point out conventions means you're going to have to proofread your work. You're going to have to check for spelling, grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, word choice, all those things. But that's okay. That's easy to do because they give you up at the top this dictionary option. So you can check the spelling of words. There's even a thesaurus if you want to have some variety. You don't want to keep using the words over and over again. Also with question 2. If in the directions they tell you multi-paragraph means minimally 4 paragraphs. You're going to need an intro paragraph, 2 body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph. The text box here is for you to write your actual essay, editorial, article. This is not for the notes, but I do recommend taking notes. So you're going to see right up here at the top, there's a little button that says notes. I think this is great for as you're reading through all your sources, if you want to jot down important pieces of evidence, things that you think you're going to need to use to prove your point, just to save you time, Notepad will save you. And it even gives you the option to save and close. Use the Notepad for notes. Do not do the notes in the text box here. That is for the actual writing assignment. So hopefully this Screencastify has broken down and explained so that you understand the different parts of the performance task. On average, most people normally take about, let's say an hour and a half to 2 hours. At least in the past few years, most people who took that amount of time got 3s and 4s. All right.